Good morning, this is Miss Goodwin, and today we are covering the Unit 2 practice test for Math 100. So the goal of this unit was to be able to solve linear equations and inequalities. So let's go ahead and get started. So number 1, we want to simplify the expression below. Negative 8c minus 7c. So for this, we are going to want to combine any like terms which have the same variables. So like terms have the same variable. And like terms, the variables have the same exponents. So if we look here, negative 8c and 7c, both of them have a c to the first power, which we don't typically write out. So because of that, we can just combine the coefficients using the adding or subtracting, whatever the expression tells us to do. So we're going to take the negative 8 and subtract 7 from that. And that gives us negative 15. And then we're going to keep the c. So you keep the variable with your coefficients. And that is our final answer. So negative 8c minus 7c can be simplified to negative 15c. Now for number 2, we want to use the distributive property to remove the parentheses. So for this, you can either use the rainbow method or the box method. The rainbow method says that you take whatever term is on the outside and multiply it to every term on the inside. So negative 8, it is on the back end, but that's still fine. We're going to multiply that to the positive 2, then to the minus 2v, and then to the plus 4w. So we get negative 8 times 2 minus 8 times minus 2v minus 8 times plus 4w. And then you multiply. So negative 8 times 2 gives us negative 16. Negative 8 times negative 2v, that gives us plus 16v. Remember, negative times a negative will give us a positive. And then negative 8 times positive 4w gives us a minus 32w. And we're done. None of these are like terms, so we cannot combine them. Question 3, we are still using the distributive property to remove the parentheses. This time I'm going to show you how to use the box method. So we have 3 terms on the inside and 1 term on the outside. So we are going to make a 3x1 box. And we're going to put minus 3 out here. And then minus v squared plus 1 minus 5u cubed on the top. And now we're going to multiply each row by each column. So negative 3 times negative v squared, that gives us a positive 3v squared. Now negative 3 times a positive 1 gives us a minus 3. And then a minus 3 times negative 5u cubed will give us 15u cubed. So you multiply the coefficients and you multiply the coefficients separately, and then you would multiply the variables separately. So our final statement is 3v squared minus 3 plus, there is a plus here, 15u cubed. And that is our final expression. Okay, now question 4, we want to simplify the expression below. So first you're going to remember your order of operations. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication and or division, adding and or subtraction. So these two are part of the same step, left to right. So first we check for parentheses. We do have some distribution we got to do. So -3 times u plus 3. I'm going to use the rainbow method. So -3 times u gives me -3u. -3 times +3 gives me -9. And then we still have the plus 5u. So we're done with that. Now we have exponents. There's no exponents. Multiplication or division. We don't have anything to multiply. And then add or subtracting. We do have a bunch of subtraction and adding. So we're going to combine any like terms. So the -3u and the plus 5u, those two are like terms. So -3u plus 5u, I'm just rearranging this. Combine those, we get a positive 2u minus 9. So our final answer is 2u minus 9. Those are not like terms, so we cannot simplify any further. Okay. Now we are looking at question 5. This time we have an equation. So we want to solve for u, get u alone. So our first step is to look for any distribution, which would indicate we have parentheses. We do not have any parentheses. So we're going to skip that step and look at the next one. Our next step is to combine like terms on either side of the equal sign. There's nothing on the left, or no like terms on the left, and no like terms on the right. So we're going to skip that step. Ready? Now we're going to use adding or subtraction to move variables to one side and constants to the other. Now I suggest keeping your variables on the left. So let's keep 3u where it's at, and we got to get rid of this 2 here. Now that is a positive 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to the other in order to keep the equation balanced. So positive 2 minus 2 simplifies to 0. And -1 minus 2 gives us a -3. So we get 3u equals -3. So we've added and or subtracted to get the terms with the variables on one side. Now we want to get the variable completely alone. So right now we have to multiply or divide to get the variable completely alone. So we want to get rid of that 3 on the 3u. So this is 3 times u. The opposite of multiply is to divide. So we're going to divide the left by 3. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So this leaves us with just u. And -3 divided by 3 gives us a -1. So we have multiplied or divided. Now we have u completely by itself, so we are completely done. u equals -1. How exciting. All right, question 6. So this time we are going to use the same method we did before. So 9v minus 30 equals 5v minus 6. So first we check for distribution, which we don't have. Then we combine like terms, which on either side individually we do not have. So now we're going to add or subtract to get variable alone. So I want to put my variables on the left side. So let's move the 5v over to the left. So to do that, I am going to subtract 5v. That gives me 4v minus 30 equals, the 5v's cancel, leaving us with -6. Now we're not quite done with this step because we want to move the -30 to the other side. So I am going to add 30 to cancel out the -30, leaving me with 4v equals 24. So now we have 4v equals 24. We want to get the v alone. So now we're going to divide out the 4 on both sides. That gives us v on the left, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So we are done with that. So now remember, the whole goal of this is to use your kind of your reverse order of operations to get your variable alone. So once we have our variable alone and everything that's a like term is combined, we are done. We have v equals 6 as our final answer. Okay. Question 7, we want to write an inequality for the following statement. So we see 8 is less than or equal to, that is this symbol right here, A. 8 is less than or equal to A. That's all you have to do, is just translate the statement. Here are the different inequality symbols. Feel free to pause the video real quick so you can copy this down. And let's move on. Alrighty, so now we want to write an inequality for the graph shown below using x as our variable. So I'm going to keep the x on the left side. Now I see we have an open circle, so -5 is not included. So it's going to be either a less than or a greater than. Now I see the right hand side is shaded. So if the right side is shaded, that means all the numbers larger than -5 are included. X is more than -5. X is greater than -5. If it helps, you can also see the arrow is pointing to the right. So the right side is shaded. You're going to use the one that has the point towards the right. So x is greater than -5. That is our answer. Question 9. The sum of a number. So the sum means plus. The sum of a number times 9. We're using x for our variable, so this means 9x. And 28 is less than 22. So let's translate that. So 9x is the number times 9 plus 28. So this is saying the sum of a number times 9 and 28 is less than 22. And that is all we have to do. We don't have to solve that any further. Question 10. We have x is less than -6. So we know we're going to have a circle and -6. This is just a less than symbol, so it is not going to be a filled in circle. So -6 is not included in our final answer. Now, x is less than -6. So x is smaller than -6. So the left-hand side is what's going to be filled in. You could also think about it as the inequality symbol is pointing to the left. So the left side of that circle is going to be filled in. So we've gone ahead and graphed our inequality on number line. We are done. Alrighty, number 11. This one's a little tricky. So we have n, let n be the middle number of 3 consecutive even integers. So remember, even is anything divided by 2. So n is our middle number. The even number smaller than that is going to be whatever n is minus 2. And then the even number greater than that is going to be 2 more than that number. We want to write an expression for the sum of these integers. So we're going to add all of these. So this is kind of a rough expression. We want to combine like terms. So we have 3 n's. Oops. So we have n plus n plus n, which gives us 3n. And then we have a minus 2 and a plus 2. These become 0. So our final answer is 3n. And we're done. Let's look at this next one. Ali ordered some books online for $6 each. So he orders some books online and each of them were $6. He paid $3 total for shipping and the total purchase was $75. So to show that the books were $6 each, the keyword here is each. This indicates multiplication. So we're going to do 6 times b. So we have 6b. And then we have a constant of $3 added to our total cost. So he paid $6 per book. And then he also paid $3 for shipping. And the total cost of this is $75. So this, our expression, is 6b plus 3 equals $75. We are only going to use the top one. Do not worry about the second one. You're supposed to pick which of those two you're going to use. So we've written our equation to answer the question above. Now we're going to solve it. So our first step is distribution. We don't have any. Then we combine like terms on either side. There's no like terms on the left and there's no like terms on the right, so we can't do that. Now we're going to add or subtract from one side to the other. So I'm going to keep the 6b on the left and subtract 3 from both sides. That leaves me with 6b equals 72. So we've done that. And now we're going to multiply or divide to get the variable alone. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So we get b equals 12. So Ali bought 12 books. How exciting. Number 13, Lucy runs each lap in 6 minutes. So, and she will run less than 12 laps today. What are the possible numbers of minutes she will run today? Now this one's a little tricky. So we know she will run less than 12 laps. So the number of minutes she will run will be less than some number. Now, 12 laps, 6 minutes each. You're going to do 12 times 6, and that gives us 72. So she will run less than 72 total minutes. And that is our final answer. Number 14. Yoko's fish tank has 15 liters of water in it. She plans to add 5 liters per minute until the tank has at least 60 liters. What are the possible number of minutes Yoko could add water? So there's a few steps we gotta do. We have 60 liters as our goal. We currently have 15, so we are going to subtract that because that's already done. So we have 45 liters to go. Now she wants to add 5 liters per minute. And we are trying to look for the number of minutes that it's going to take to add that water. So 45 divided by 9 is, or divided by 5, because it's 5 liters per minute, is 9. So it's going to take at least 9 minutes. At least is greater than or equal to. So our inequality is going to be t, the number of minutes, will be greater than or equal to 9. And that is our final inequality. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped out. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a wonderful day. Bye.